Okay, hello YouTube, it's Team Endgame here, bringing you the Cardiff Springfest Team League Tournament Report thingy.
What is it you adding thingy to stuff?
Because it clears it up just in case I miss something. That's the thingy. This was the last tournament for G era, and it was Team 1, which was nice because we don't like G era, so we may as well suffer as a team. And because, well, you can probably tell by the fact that we're not showing off trophies and shit, we didn't win. We all know we would.
Same as always.
Same as always. So just to get the tournament out of the way, it was in Firestorm Games again. Great venue, could do with a bit of aircon. It was bloody hot and
A lot of aircon, could do with a lot of aircon.
Just down the other end where we kept sitting.
Yeah, it was.
Every round we're at the other end of the room where
a wall of just nastiness.
It's raw.
Yeah, it's nice, just chew before you breathe.
And yeah, well done event, top 8 cut, so we're still top 8, and then from there on we'll go through, I guess, the rounds and the day, and then as per normal. How did that insult? You should say
As per normal.
And then we'll go over our thoughts on the last tournament and potentially issues which we may have with it.
It was quite A. Oh, it was me, wasn't it?
Yeah, you were.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get to start.
Was you A?
I was. Me and Mike swapped at last minute for some reason.
Didn't want to be B.
Oh,
No, I would have been C. Yours always B.
no, I shouldn't always be B. I got distracted. I was just paying attention to your game so much.
So, let's start off. Game 1, I had Darkness.
What did you use, Aaron? That's a good question from the audience.
Tell us what you used.
People know what I used.
No, they don't.
They should know what I used.
Was it-
Nectar.
Was it Luard? Luard.
Yeah, 4. I think it works really well for him.
Yeah.
That deck needs to burn.
What about Asher?
If it didn't cost me money, I would burn it. No, I was using Coral.
Okay.
Good old Bermudas. I represented, except I...
First represented as well. Maybe that.
It's about, you say that, but there's a lot of Coral players apparently.
I would say the one who represented the most was probably the team that won, that had Ange on. We won't go into these things.
I just want to point out I lost one game the entire day, which was this one, annoyingly. It was against Darkness. So, for those who don't know, Coral's quite an aggressive deck, and it can do multi-attacks. I did that on my grade 3 ride/stride, as I would normally do, but for some reason, the guy who was playing Darkness had enough cards in hand to guard it all. So that was fun, and then he went and killed me with a restander. That was fun, because I can guard with zeros. Yay!
That's the I. B? Who's B? Oh, I was B. And Angel Gize, I was against Coral. I just got Coral. Mike?
I was against Nubatama. I was playing Novas, the Victor build. My own little typical 7-draw thing, because it has no draw power. I tried to beat him in 2 strides, which works majority of the time, as you'll find out. So I was against Nubatama. My opponent had kept a heal trigger from the start of the game due to the only real threat I can see from Nubatama being a G-guard into the GB3 effect to call 2 from hand and give him 10k and a crit. So because of that, Yuri argues that I should have not attacked my last swing just in case he had a heal trigger, because I didn't see one, which would have meant I would have survived. But it didn't matter anyway, because you guys just, yeah. Spoiler!
No, it's not a spoiler.
Oh, no, you already know.
I said.
Yeah, because you guys lost, yeah, so, yeah, it didn't matter.
But it would have been I couldn't hold anything against you, because I always hold it.
But you hold it against me that I swung with my last swing, and he G-guarded, and yeah, it's just because they had a crit that I lost. It was as simple as that. It's so sad. But anyway, and then it's just Faz, yeah.
What?
You might as well tell you what I've done.
Well, Faz was on the second team.
So there was a different team. It was Team Ranger or Ranger Danger, depending on what we did. It was created of last minute-ish of me, Brad, who is a good long-term friend, very good advice, and Callum, who's also here today, who's a very good friend and good vice player. So, so our round one.
A team, Weichschwarz plus you.
Weichschwarz and me! Yay!
Weichschwarz the best!
So that's fine. So basically our team consisted of myself playing Bermuda Coral.
Myself playing with Gabriel in the Noshio Gize era.
And who was the other guy? Brad was playing
Nubatama
Nubs.
Gize.
Yes. So Basically, round one, overall the team won. Me kind of lost but won, depending how you look at it. It was against Link Joker Chaos. It was not fun, because from the time he went grade 3, it was basically everything was locked down. I anged out once and continued to play through and got to the point where I swung and it was like, okay then, 2 to pass. I had 4 triggers and I got bored and just said, right, first card was a trigger, roll the dice, because the teammates already won. It was like, roll the dice, 3 or less it goes there, 4 or more goes there. Spoke to one of the other opponents, you rolled the dice and just went from there. So kind of basically just took the piss at the end because it was done. Ending. Yes, Faz ending because we had won and there was nothing to play for whatsoever.
I myself have played Victor, round 1. I had a little bit of a nervous moment when I went first stride at Gabriel Eden and forgetting to use the Soul Blast 1 rescue skill. So I never went to GB2 before my opponent decided to go Victor stride. Just do it's like about a gazillion attacks, so say myself to 5, having like about 2 or 3 left in hand, and then proceeded to use my own aggressive combo with Black Seraph Gabriel. Because my opponent committed to try and finish me in the turn, taking advantage of my misplay, I just proceeded to use my aggressive nature deck against him and pushed him to damage.
Cool. Aaron?
Round 2. I wanted to point out, I forgot to mention it last round, me and Faz have unique coral decks, because they don't run any perfect cards.
What's the point in them? They're not used.
It was meant to be brought up, it will probably be in the deck profile at some point, either one of us, probably both of them, we might be
Yeah,
both
we'll
of them. I'll allow later. Anyway.
It's hardly any difference.
Deck profile what we went with, and it'll be fine.
Basically, the reason I want to point that out is because there's new Batama in game 2. So
They G-Guard.
it was just a Vanguard battle from him up to grade 3. I did an aggressive play on grade 2, just drop, tack,
Yeah.
lol. I got first stride, so he went at grade 3, I rode strode, I got 20k from the front row from Corals in the Soul, and from double speaker and 2 counterblast I won, because that's as a result of attacks.
So, he didn't G-Guard and went... Okay, cool.
He couldn't G-Guard, because I went...
So that's how you beat him, Yuri. If they have a G-Guard, you just don't let them G-Guard. Well, there you go. You're good.
I can't remember who these people were. What was round 2? Who are you again? Who against woman?
This is why you write it down.
You against woman? Oh, was this the one where the guy didn't know what my deck did?
No, that was
later on in the day where you crushed the soul of a child.
No, that's crushing the soul. This is the guy who leaned over and we were playing Royals.
that was game 4.
That's hilarious.
I took that
That was game 4 because I was playing...
to be writing our stuff down.
I mean, you can just say you won or whatever and you can't remember.
I won and I gized. That's all I remember doing.
Okay, that's fine. That's it.
So you did your deck.
That's how I did my day. Yes. I won and I gized.
Okay, I was against Dark Irregulars. My opponent stalled on 2 for a turn. I survived to GB2 basically, and pushed for game with Champ, so it's fine. Not really much to say really. Did get 3 heals off and a double crit, that was annoying.
Which champ?
What is Victor?
There's winning champ or favourite champ.
Which was your favourite? The winning one?
Is it the restandy one?
Stop it! Stop it! Why are you confusing me? I had it before!
Or the multi-restandy one?
I just did my normal thing. Don't worry. First stride, second stride, whatever they're called.
Yeah, so winning champ, favourite
Yeah,
champ.
winning champ, because winning's the first one, isn't it? Because
Yeah.
favourite's when you win, because it's your favourite. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fine. I remembered it that way. Yeah. Anyway, save me first.
What? Oh, yeah, me. So, round 2 was Darkness, overall team 1, and I did win. I beat Darkness, mainly because I just rushed the hell out of him at grade 3, got him to 4 damage. I did my first stride with Speaker, 2 crooks in hand, and that pretty much means GG, no re.
Yay, crook.
Broken, so...
It was Novas. I remembered it was Novas. Sorry.
Well done for beating Novas. Yeah, that was it. It's just basically my deck did what it needed to do, which was 15k to the front row and just slam. He went into his quad drive, didn't really have any pressure because he used all his hand trying to block the series of attacks after I pushed him to 4, and then that was it. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, GG.
And my round 2 was probably the highlight, one of the highlights from the day. I was against Ange, and if people know me, Shize. Overall, to begin with, we had equal footing, but because with Ange you get instant pluses from each turn. I figured to myself with a big hand, what's the best way I could do? Just try and stay in the game until I can like try to work with a finisher. Unfortunately for my opponent, I managed to bail out with a 6 damage heal. To which Baz was just like, wait, what?
You 6 now, you sacky
Yeah.
little...
And then I proceed to Ultima, and then just use the rescue stam combo loop and do like gazillion attacks that wiped out Shize's hand. He just pretty much, after the second lot of attacks, it's like he's not going to guard everything, so he just got the damage, the 6 damage hit.
Yep.
Oh yay! Stacking 6 damage heal for the win.
Game 3. I was against Narukami, of all things. Was not expecting to see that.
Wait, Narakami was there?
Yep.
Don't get me started.
So, literally all I got down is he strode first and retired a few cards with V-Buster or V-Max. I don't know which one you go
V-Buster
first.
is the first stride.
Whatever, it didn't matter. I then strode, I had 15k to the front row because of Coral skill. He G-guarded and killed my column of Speaker, which I was like, didn't realize you could do that.
That's a thing.
Yep, apparently. It didn't matter though because I still had a Speaker and a Croc on the other side and that gave me enough,
You killed my column, but I had a better one.
enough extra attacks to keep going and I won that turn, so there you go.
This is fine.
All I'm saying is, every one of Aaron's games, all I hear is, I played Coral. I did Coral.
No,
Next.
I play Coral.
First stride win. Yay.
I played Coral and used Speaker, and one of my first grade 3 I slash stride. That's why I hear.
You always find it. I was against Nubatama. They got an early crit. I didn't get any triggers, and they crushed me. Pretty much.
Okay. Yeah, I was against Deleters. All things Deleters. Link Joker. Yuri, why you ever played Link Joker?
Because Deleters is such a one-more combo deck, I hate it.
It is. And what happens when you get it off?
You win.
Oh! Yeah, they got it off. Admittedly, because I go against Deleters, I didn't ride grade 3 because I thought I wanted to stall and make them me stride first, basically, because I know they didn't have any draw power really. So
No, they just have a restander.
I didn't know they had a restand. If they did, they needed a particular grade 2 for it, which they had. And yeah, I kind of went from like 1 to death, and it wasn't pretty, with no triggers and damage.
Wait, you have deleted deck.
And-
How does Mike not know about the restand?
Because he doesn't play it.
I told him, but he just doesn't listen, because I never play it. Cause
I'm a visual person. You have to play it in front of me or talk to me about it and show me,
Right,
and I'll understand.
There's a
But-
reason why it went to Worlds and none of them got the top cut, because it's such a rubbish deck that it's such a one-more combo deck, it's the third deck.
Yeah, but
it will win on occasion.
Yeah, so it summarises my frustration with Vanguard, which I won't go into, but it's just how ridiculous that was, but I didn't even get to stride.
Save that for the podcast.
Like 1 to 6, I was dead. So just
Leave
yeah.
it.
So restander, and there's an effect that calls the top 2 cards. Yeah, that one.
There's the starter and probably the stand trick, which call cards when they die.
Yeah, so top 2 cards or whatever cards, and you pick one, call it, and you know I was on 0, so yay, they were hitting.
You can get triggers, that's to be.
Yep.
As
Yep, I played Nubatama, which was a great game. It was fantastic. No, sorry, it was Nubatama. It wasn't a great game. It wasn't fantastic. They got their win condition.
Did he G-guard?
No, it was the other one. It was double crit at the grade 3, so I didn't even get to stride. It was like,
The win condition that's in most decks if you want to crit.
yes. It was basically, that was it. It was grade 1, grade 2, grade 3, good game. That was it.
Yep.
There's nothing else to say.
I didn't realise that happened. I was too busy playing against Darkness. It was an equal footing game until it came onto the late point when my opponent forgot a draw power, so it's just like up a card, and it went proceeding the end phase and completely missing it. So we had the judges around, they just told them to return the said card back to the deck, shuffle. Then my opponent proceeded to dust me, full charge Jaeger draw, then double crit me for game.
wonderful.
Round 4.
Game 4. So this is the one, Yuri, because I was against Blasters on this one. So this would have been the guy that you went against.
No.
Yeah? I'm pretty sure it was this
we
one.
were 2-2 when I went against the guy who I crushed his soul, and I went against Royal.
No, this was the other guy who questioned.
No, that was Brave. That was the second game then.
Okay.
So this is an over game.
This is the one where you crushed the guy.
No, we were 2-2 at the time.
I can't remember then. Fuck it.
That was the next game.
This is so
I'm
organised.
against Blasters.
I don't write my stuff down.
Ah!
This might be against Novus, and the other one was against Brave.
Where'd it go? Okay, so he dropped the full field on grade 2, with blasters and a Lou and a Flogel and stuff. I was like,
Was there a blaster blade with the crit on the Vanguard?
no, it's not standard.
I wish it was.
So he then stalled on 2 for a turn, so that he would get first stride. I rode to grade 3 because of Coral. I went attack Lou, so he wouldn't have counterblast. He strode into Gance a lot, unflipped 1 counterblast and couldn't do much with it. And then I go, stride to Coral, 15k to the front row, 7 attacks. And then I upped it by 5k again during the battle because of skills. And then I won.
So good at this game doing coral things.
I know, it's great.
This was... So the other one was the Brave guy. This was the Nova guy. Who... didn't ride a grade 1.
Oh, this is the really weird one. Tell me about.
Yeah, this is
so
the
weird.
weird one. He didn't ride grade 1, so I rode a 4k draw trigger. Swung, got a draw trigger.
So thrust it back his neck.
So I thrust back my neck and
flip up, yeah.
flip up. Then later on, he rode grade 3 first. Okay.
The correct one. Bear in mind.
Yeah. So he rode Zubat. Then I rode Strode, did my thing. His next turn, he went draw, ride. Swing, swing, swing.
He didn't strike.
And I was looking at it going, did he
rode-
mean to
Oh,
do
that
that?
one you told
He
me.
rode
Yeah.
the wrong one over the top of the right one, didn't stride.
I was so confused.
I don't get it.
He was
And
looking for the force marker.
Then the game sort of just kept going. I was like, okay. Then I just Giza'd him and he goes, well. And I was like, you could heal out. You're at 1. You could easily heal out. And he just threw 2 heal triggers at me and said, no, I can't. I was like, well, there you go.
No, that was Royals.
No, Royals.
No one cares.
No, both of those games.
Oh, okay.
Every time I say you could heal out, my opponent just went, no, I can't, and just showed me all
Okay.
his heal triggers. I was
Okay.
like, ah.
Okay.
Oh crap, my phone went off, it's taken so long.
Mike,
Yes, hang on.
you won this one, don't
I'm
worry.
trying, I don't know. Oh, this is a good one. I was against a Nova mirror match. Okay, guide.
What?
Apparently the guide, yeah, it was. That's the next year. I don't.
Wait, so was I against the Brave in that one then?
I thought you were.
I-
No, you couldn't have been because I was against
Yeah.
blasters.
Okay,
What
I'm
happened
going
according to your-
to continue anyway because I actually wrote notes. So I was against Nova mirror match. The guy dropped early, so I used that opportunity to swing over his rear guards. He stalled on a grade 2 with a re-ride. I don't know if he didn't have a grade 3 or anything, but I managed to just win on my grade 3 ride. I did a coral because I just did a grade 2 that stood the rear guard, and yeah, stuff. It was just over like that because he stalled. I guess that happens. Things happen.
Played nubs. Again.
Did you go and win, or did you sack? Because that's the only way they're winning.
Let's go with double crit again. Winning conditions like a pro. Yeah, it was basically a fun and exciting game that started off fantastically. More about that later. And then we'll go from there. Yeah, that was it. I lost.
Cool.
I was against Victor round 4. It was pretty much a passive game, first ride. We both didn't really get any utility out of it, but we were both on pretty much like late damage. I come to my Black Seraph turn, I tried to use all my combos that I had access to, but my opponent managed to draw enough with combination from the newest Victor strides and starters and berries of it that allows him to draw. And just managed to block everything, then proceeded to go favourite champ. I was like, I didn't really have my guarding, a normal guarding tools in my hand to be able to fend off the attack, so yeah. Who likes having a Vanguard restand 3 times in one game? That's great.
Mike does, because he's using Novas.
Yeah.
Game 5. I was playing against...
Game 5?
I was playing against Gears. It might have been this one, Yuri. I don't know.
No, this was the one where I crushed myself.
So I did a dum-dum, and I misplayed on my
this
first
is
stride. I had double speaker, I think. Yeah, double speaker. I attacked on boosted with a speaker because I'm like, the other speaker's going to restand. Not remembering that I'm against Gears.
Spun it back in.
So he did Tetri round and spun the other one that was going to bounce the other one.
That's what I
Back.
did.
Yeah, I know. So I went like 19 with speaker and then like a 21 with the other column and then the Vanguard. I didn't get a stand. So I was like, okay, your turn.
Proceed.
Oh,
Yeah.
no. It's a
He
fair
went-
turn. He could have normal
He
turn.
got into his first stride, went to Pegasus, got a few pluses, but
On the back foot.
you know,
So always.
I took damage up to 5 and was like, okay, let's do this properly. Speaker Crook, Lauren, went into Frontier Coral,
Only one hedge around is bullshit.
I know.
and then I got 6 attacks off and won in those 6 attacks before my Vanguard, and then still had more to go.
Wait, he G-guarded and it went into split.
Yes.
I was like, why wouldn't you just Avenue in that situation?
Because he knew he needed to guard the Coral attacks.
If he can't put the pressure on, then
I was on like 1 damage.
yeah.
And that's good.
Two
That's good
damage.
against Coral. He was on 1
be-
damage.
I-
He's doing all right.
If he went into Phoenix, he would have tried to pressure for game. But then if Aaron gets any defensive triggers, that's them nullified, and he hasn't drawn anything, so he's just dead.
But yeah, that was that.
So he thought he could survive, and then Aaron just went, no, you can't.
Here, I think this was your brave one, maybe?
No, this was the Aquaforce one, because we were
Okay.
2-2.
Okay.
So we came into this, and the guy was like, how's your day? I was like, average. He goes, well, we've lost 2, but I'm trying to be positive about it all. So he was trying to be all cheery. He was playing Aquaforce. I was like, okay. I'm pretty sure I know what to do against them. So give him 1 counterblast. Everything else was attacking a rearguard. And as the game went on, you saw his face drop, and sadly, and he was just like, I can't do anything. So he just started being like, what do I do? What is life? What is over the rainbow? But just disappointment. And by the end of it, when I said, I deal you 5 damage, you can heal out, it was like, no, I can't.
Oh, wasn't it that one? Wasn't it the...
No,
Okay.
that was game 2 was the one who asked.
Okay, all right. Okay.
That one was, he was just broken. At the end of it, he was so cheery at the start. At the end of it, he just looked like a broken man, to a point where in the game afterwards, when we talked to people outside, they're like, they played him, he was still broken. I crushed Aquaforce by being like, you can't have any counterblast, what can you do? And it's like, really not much.
Not much. Oh, right, yeah. That's me. Okay, alright, it's that one, okay. Okay, I was against Spike Brothers. Right? Because, of course, I always get the 3rd deck, being 3rd. It's like people don't think about it. What, Aaron? Are you thinking you got the wrong game all of a sudden or something?
No, we're on game 5, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
I guided early because I know they have literally a Alice-type combo where they keep...
That wasn't Aquaforce, Yuri.
No, we were 2-2 against Aquaforce.
No, that wasn't that game, because I was on the left-hand
Oh
side.
my god, people wouldn't
table.
even know if you didn't say anything.
I was on the left-hand side when he was against Spikes. Because I don't know why they sat down. But I was on the right-hand side of you when you played against Aquaforce. So I don't know which one you played against.
Yeah, you need to at least write your opponent down.
Oh, I've gone through the games roughly.
Roughly.
I played Gizeh happened. I played Gizeh did not happen.
Yeah, but he didn't even get that right. He didn't get the right order of them. Okay, regardless, I guarded early. Discussing it afterwards, I feel we could have gone 1 to 6 damage.
No, Aaron, because I played Aquas twice. I played Blue Wave.
Yeah, but this isn't the one that you crushed.
No, this isn't one I crushed.
This isn't the one you crushed.
It isn't one I
I
crushed.
promise you it's not.
Whatever, he crushed someone. That's the point. He crushed everyone he beat, let's be honest.
Just to go on record, before we even started this video, the words were, there'll be no rambling, it's fine.
Okay, anyway, I guarded early. Discussing it afterwards, even though I'd won, I feel we both felt that he could have 1 to 6 me if he committed 100% and stacked all his power on the booster that's restanding rather than split it a little bit. And I just wrote scary deck, bruh, because it just kept going. Oh, Soul Blast 2. I was like, oh, so he's out of Soul. And then he got more Soul somehow. It's like, oh god, it just kept going. Even with like 3 counter blasts, he got a scary amount of attacks off.
Yeah, because if I remember right, your next one was Dark Records.
What's he looking at?
Spoilers.
That's the one that you were against Aquaforce next.
Was it?
Yes. Because I was against Nubatama on the right,
I don't remember.
and he was against a woman. And it's
Again.
Dark Records.
let's not specify genders. And
No, because
No, sorry,
Bring it back.
that's the royal one.
Was it?
That's the royal one where he was like, what the fuck's that?
What was my second game then?
You just miss out the game. It happened.
It happened.
Yeah.
You probably geese.
I did Gizeh. I know Gizeh that one.
Yeah, we're both wrong.
Round 5 versus
Stupid discussion. You're both wrong.
Round 5 versus Nubs. He didn't double crit me, and he didn't.
Again.
He didn't basically G guard into.
He didn't double crit on
What
G-Guard,
number
so
fast?
you won.
You were A.
I was B.
You were B.
I was
Why
middle
Nubs B.
I went A.
A was Cam, B was me, C was Brad. But yeah, so Nubs did not use his magical skill of G-guarding into G2 into GB3 or double critting. So I was able to win just by playing Crook, Lauren, and Speaker. Done.
Aww.
That's it. Large numbers. I've put broken combo. So sad it's going to go.
I think that was bad. My round bad was against Zodiac Time Beast. It was the game of grade 2s. But no one found a grade 3 in this game. Not till late anyway. About 3 turns at grade 2, both of us having no grade 3. He literally could not handle just staying on a grade 2 because he knows he wouldn't get any pressure, so he needed hand excess. So he rides grade 3 Chrono Jet Z. Unfortunately, I even though I didn't have my grade 3 at the beginning of my turn, I assisted into my Gabriel, strolled into Eden, and then just had multi-combo attacks, and he had nothing to guard with. So that was pretty much straightforward. A game of grade 2 gaming. Now that one felt weird.
So you won that one.
I did win that one.
Game 6. This was Nubatama.
Oh, you got a Nubatama too.
All these freaking Nubatama decks,
Yeah,
man.
Nubatama's very popular.
Because it plays its fucking self, like a lot of them.
I strode first.
Even if you get
I
G-guard.
got my multi-attacks down with Aurora Coral. He had enough cards to actually guard most of it, but I think I knocked him down to like 1 or no cards in hand. I think he top deck Stride, he did Renee. I called 2 stand triggers, which was a Croc and a Lauren, which is ready there for next turn.
Weird that. I'll be swinging at your Vanguard.
None of his dominates hit because I'm on a 13k Vanguard. So yeah, then I go into Coral again and go, yay, multi-attacks with the stands that are called on the field, and
So
I win.
you didn't G-guard and go into his...
No.
Okay, then you're going to win.
Yep. Come to that conclusion. Double crit on
I
G-guard.
cut the deck, this one didn't go
I'm
with
pretty
it.
sure this is your...
Which annoys me, so many people
Brave
played with
game.
it.
No, this is Aquaforce.
This is the one where he tried.
No, this is Aquaforce, where he was playing Blue Wave. Because we had the ruling where he thought he could Blue Wave my Gizeh. And he cannot Blue Wave my Gizeh.
Yeah, I don't think that was the last game, so it has to be this one.
And the last game was against Nubatama.
God damn it.
2 and 2 was against the bloody guy I crushed because he was so cheery trying to be positive that even though he lost 2, they had a chance.
That's pretty...
Oh, it doesn't matter, Yuri, please, just tell me how your game went. That this particular
fine.
random game, which is just in some magical order is happening now.
Right, against Blue Wave, I basically got Gizeh second stride and he thought he could Blue Wave and lock me at 11, which he couldn't, so he then scooped.
Well, no, you called a judge over.
Oh yeah, we called a judge over, we discussed it. Judge said, no, you can't.
After you the only one real talking, telling him.
Oh no, we both spoke, we both read the cards. I said he can't because it doesn't give the Vanguard the skill, continuous skill, blah. It's because of his skill. Then the guy was like, you know what, I can't hit you, so I'm just going to scoop. Before he even took 5.
Well, that's what I do. When you do it to me. Oh, it's me.
Do this all the time, I just keep...
I know, because I'm just interested in other people's stories. I'm sure to remind me of myself in my notes is the problem.
It says you're against DI.
Okay. Dark Regulars had a pretty small hand after the setup. He said they drew a lot after their first stride. I don't think enough was drawn, so it must have not gone smoother than it should do. And then they just pummeled my Vanguard rather than my rear guards, give me enough counter blasts to just wreck the next turn. So that's it. If they didn't give me multiple counter blasts, of course I wouldn't have been so aggressive. But
You chose on your rear guards.
yeah, basically. Oh well.
My round 6 was against a Shizuki deck. I had a bad time. I had to hunt for the grade 1 Coral after a misride, so it took a lot of my resources to get to it. In the end it was close. I died on his second stride, which is pretty much the theme, and it wouldn't have mattered if I had a perfect card or not. But that was generally it.
He got triple triggers on that, didn't he?
He did triple trigger, but I'm just keeping this short because we got limited battery. So go.
My round 6 was against Brave. After a turn of not having a grade 3, I assisted into my Gabriel. I pretty much was on 5 damage after my Brave rushed me while he was on 1. But due to my opponent's amazing cutting skills, every time I use Surgery Angel Rescue Loop, he keeps hitting a Surgery Angel. That happened for about 7 or 8 times in a row, and then he just died.
Small side note to the Aqua guy who Souls I crushed, I did get 4 heals off and go straight into heal.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
So that also didn't help. That,
You're a monster.
Okay.
4 heals.
anyway,
Oh my!
It's not been done since first nets.
Game
I
7.
remember first.
Game 7, I was against the only Regalia player that I saw the entire day, which was pretty nice.
And he was what before he faced you?
What?
The Regalia player.
What about?
What was his record before he faced you?
Can't remember.
No. Yeah, okay, his record himself.
Oh, he hadn't lost all day.
Yeah,
yeah. So it didn't start off well because he G6'd on grade 1, so that was bad. If it makes up for it, which it probably doesn't, I didn't ride any of my corals until about grade 3. He strode first, did a bunch of pluses with the first Regalia stride, the Soul Blast and dust stuff. I took a crap ton of damage for effects, so I could go strides. I had 2 corals in Soul, I then put it up to 6 in Soul, and then with Speaker, Kirk, and Kruk and Lauren, I got 9 attacks off and 1 on my first stride.
Nice.
And that was his only loss of the day.
Good work. I was against Nubatama.
What?
It's the bottom roll. I was against Nubatama.
Ball just rolling away for the win.
God's sake, Faz.
I went first, so denied him all the counter blast I could. Only gave him 1. Then he went I went grade 3 first, so he went stride first. By this point, I needed 1 more. By the time I was at grade 3 and swung, I needed 1 more trigger before I was on Gizeh. He then went into Ujma Flip to call 2 cards. I called a healed and stand. They weren't hitting me, so his stride was pointless. I then got my last one, so my first stride was Gizeh, and then I dealt him 5 damage. He limited my hand to 4 cards, and then I dealt him another 5 damage and 1.
Oh yeah, I saw that. He said nothing, didn't he?
Yeah, he was on nothing. I was like, well, what?
It's not possible. Okay. This is the last game, isn't it? So I went against Brave Royal, and it was the oddest game I've played all day and ever with Novas, because he just kept swinging my rear cards. He didn't give me any counter blast like it's playing Gizeh. I was like, right. So I had to use like the free stride and things, so when you attack, stand a unit, the Meteor Kaiser thing. I think that's what it's called. And yeah, so I used that twice, I think. And he used his, you can't call 2 Guardians to the Guardian Circle stride, which obviously Royals like doing. Well, amusing point to make is he went 9 to Vanguard. I was like, okay. So I'd be surprised how many people guard that. Just because they think it's still going to hit. Yeah, I just finished him with the usual winning Victor. Not winning Victor. Victor champ thing, whatever. I know what it's called. It's going to be Victor's. But, yeah. This clarifies another thing as well. I wrote that I drew an unnecessary amount of cards for restand, so I could have kept going. So the amount of games which I see and we talk about that seem so one-sided. Like I talked to Aaron about them afterwards. Like, oh, I still had attacks left. Oh, I still had attacks. I still could have gone in that game. I could have gone rear guard, Vanguard, rear guard. I still had that left, and he was dead. I was like, this is overkill every time. It's not even close.
My last game was against Gizeh. I was actually against someone that I know really, really well, Michael. Different Michael, not Michael from Team Endgame. Just so people don't think we was in some kind of mirror match.
Oh, okay. Mirror match?
No,
Mike would never play Gizeh.
Team Endgame versus Team Endgame-ish. Yeah, so basically, he was playing Gizeh. I was hitting my run shade, so basically by my second stride, he still hadn't actually dealt me a damage. He managed to Gizeh on his second stride, which was quite nice, because I was just chilling. It was like, okay, using copious amounts of coral skills. My front row was gaining 25k, so the sheer fact that he was on Giz at that point, I was like, oh, I still got this. Multi attacks are still hitting. We're good. So basically, was a really, really good game. Let him hit me for 2 damage, and then after that, it was like, ooh, resources.
God damn it.
Stuff happened.
So you couldn't stand 0 damage, Fez?
No, I had the choice to actually
No,
wait his
you can't
entire
stand 0
turn.
damage. can't.
I had enough cards. It would have just been a case of.
Your guy healed
now
back.
I can finish
didn't
this spell.
Yeah.
he? Yeah, so you can only heal back to 0. You can't stay on.
I was
Zero.
pretty much 0 damage and could have survived it and just
He
had
was,
counter
yeah.
blast.
My last round, I was playing against Darkness. My opponent, unfortunately, did not have G-Guard into GB3 Baron first try, which tends to be always the case whenever I play against them with Angel Feather, to the point that I can't even use my Battle Cupid. But it went to a point where I had a choice between Seraph, Gabriel, and Ultima. But due to the, without Malik, Ultima Town was a bit hasty. But I decided with my backup grade 3, which I only run 1 of in Shirosha, to give all my units a crit. So it's just like you take a crit 2 here, crit 2 here, crit 2 Vanguard, use stand triggers, then crit 2 again. Just like he was just like he could not guard the second wave of attacks after my Vanguard swung. They took the 2 damage and went from 4 to 6.
Yeah. So, overall?
Overall, we didn't get top 8.
But there were a lot of people on 5-2.
Only one team, which was 5-2, got top 8, and
Yeah.
they lost in the last round to get their second loss.
Yeah.
So, okay, whatever.
And we lost like the first game of the day, which
Yeah.
didn't help. I think our OMW was like 50% exactly, whereas like the top 8 one was like 75 or something higher, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
Pretty much me and Bad had to carry Brad through the
Yeah.
entire thing. Brad won the first round and proceeded to lose the following 6.
That was it.
Good
There's
work.
literally nothing we could say more than that. We just literally...
I love Prep It, he was dead weight.
So what were
Yeah,
you,
Hate to us.
so what were you overall?
We were 4-3 overall.
Okay.
At least you're positive.
I had 5
Mostly.
wins. Brad has 4 wins.
Yep.
And Brad had the 1 win that didn't matter much because...
I could have won if I actually played the game seriously.
It
I
was like...
didn't do that.
What? I know you said part of being team end game is to actually be good, but I can't. We started
only
off.
when it matters.
Only when it matters, fans.
Yeah.
You didn't care about this one, so you're alright.
But regardless of that, the day itself and tournament itself
was hot.
was far too hot, and
Actually, a bit of
they
aircon down the other
didn't
end.
do any sort of... So what they normally seem to do in singles now is a deck check and a sleeve check. So a deck check to make sure you actually have a deck, and the sleeve check to make sure that your sleeves aren't see-through.
Neither of those were done today.
Neither of them were done today. They did say that the new rules were in place, and I don't know if anything was called up on them, so people might have going wrong. So we don't know about that, but overall there were, what, 4 judges on the day, and we had 350 odd people. They need more...
360. 120 teams.
Like 360. But they need
They listed
more
off about
judges.
6 judges at the start.
No,
But
no,
actually,
there was 4 judges.
They're all not Vanguard.
2 were Bushiroad staff, and then
Okay.
there's Sasha's a head judge who doesn't really walk up and down. Because
more there for
it's-
final rulings.
because he kind of understands when you're a head judge, you just sort of wait until you get called, and he's got other things he needs to do. So I just feel they need a bit more judges so they can do deck checks, they can do sleeve checks, they can do random spot checks or something. Just because.
Just in case things happen, is it worth...
I think it was the
mentioning
number
him?
of judges available, because I don't think that many people are actually continuously judging. The majority of people that we know that were judging, like Lammy and Christoph and a couple of others, don't judge anymore. They've dropped out of judging and gone back into gaming. That could be a contributing factor.
I think, hopefully, with this next wave of judges or passing judges, there might be more judges at these events so we can do these. You can actually check it's going to be done.
So it avoids things, just an example.
So there was an
Okay.
example that at top 8 there was a 51 card deck check. So it was checked and there was 51
What do you think
cards
this is, Yu-Gi-Oh?
into top 8.
Yeah.
Which,
So-
granted, from top 8 onwards, that guy had an automatic game loss, and I think they lost at top 8. Or they lost at top 4, I don't know, but they didn't win, which is the upside. But it's the annoyance of there was nothing there to check beforehand. Whether they did it knowingly, or whether they didn't realise they did it, who knows?
It's still the
I
fact
don't-
that there was an underlying issue that
Yeah.
throughout the day it's ruined other people's opportunities and fun.
But
It can be seen as advantages and
I just want
disadvantages.
to point out we don't know what this extra 50
That was the
card
51st.
we
was.
don't know what the
Yeah.
51st card is.
Just put it in perspective. If it is a trigger, then that's automatically increasing like the chances you can do stuff.
But it could
by
be
a lot.
anything. It could be anything.
Yeah, I know, but that's what I'm saying. But if it is a trigger, for example,
Yeah.
then it's like, well, that's just increasing your chances to trigger.
More guard and things like that. Yeah.
So yeah, so we don't know what it was, and it's a bit rare, but it's by the by. There seems to be stories comes out of every tournament before anything. So we go by the by. But overall, organisation was good. It was quite speedy. In fact, I think it probably helped. They didn't have to type out names and numbers because numbers.
GDPR was like phrase of the week, wasn't it? It was like before where you'd have your team name or anything like that. It's like no, we can only give you your team number because names are now officially information.
And even with the prize, like raffle they did, the photos they took, they said can't be on Facebook because of your GDPR. So we just having them to prove that we actually gave the prizes out. But I just thought it was quite funny, but you know, rules are rules, which I'm glad they stick by. But yeah, it was organised done pretty well, and they churned out through rounds pretty quickly. Yeah, from the moment it was time and every game was done, they pretty much were already on the next round.
Wasn't too many issues on that, so
I felt like tournament rounds actually finish not going too much advanced into time compared to how tournaments previously used to be run.
That's just because the way the meta is.
Yeah, the format is so quick. I was surprised.
That'll be a format discussion that Yuri will start doing the next podcast thing, probably.
Yeah.
Discussion thing.
Yay.
So, Aaron, last thoughts on the day?
Apart from
not
the
the format.
overwhelming heat, it was a very good day. I'm happy that my deck went X1.
Mike?
My deck did as well as I thought it would. A couple of surprise decks, especially the Link Joker one. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the new format, not going to leaving this one behind a bit. Or completely.
Faz?
Coral, Bermudas, got the last bit of support this format. So it's my time to shine, and I faded.
Yeah.
Do we want to say your last thoughts?
My last thoughts, I'm going to miss Gabrielle.
What topped was ZTB, Nociel,
Gize,
and
Ange.
I still don't get that.
Does it not frustrate you a little bit, knowing that your Coral deck didn't... Not your specific deck.
No, put it this way, my core deck performed, it's you guys that let me down.
If Brad would have won a game, we would have had a chance.
Yeah, that is a bit ouch. See how it is,
Simple as
Aaron.
that.
I wanted that.
Alright, you go with two others.
I wanted that unique
We'll go with
list of
Faz,
the
alright? Let's see how it is.
I'm just saying.
No, he doesn't like us, do
I like,
All I'm hearing is complaints.
You guys say you want unique decks to go up there.
No, I say I want unique decks up there.
Yeah,
I'm tired of seeing the same meta-y...
Yeah,
like, I
that's
don't
my
mind
point.
if it's even meta. Just make it, like, put your head in the game, structure your deck the way and test it, not just go, that's a deck, I'm going to use it.
Yeah.
So for example, if Aaron's or Faz's deck topped, you wouldn't have seen any perfect cards or anything. That would be interesting. And my deck had like 7 draws in it, and it had some other stuff I probably did with it.
Yuri's deck
that's different.
Gize.
Mine was Nociel Gize. That deck builds itself.
Yeah, exactly. So
hey, mine had no perfect cards as well.
yeah, I said your and Aaron and Faz's.
You just said Faz's, but
I swear I said both.
No,
But regard,
We'll find out on the.
I did. You'll be kicking yourself, Aaron. I said both. But I was imagining a flash up going. He didn't. But yeah, yeah. So it'll just be. That's all I want to see. I just want to see. Not so much. It doesn't have to be a variety of decks. Obviously, that's impossible because there are decks that are better than others. But try different builds. Try pushing what your playstyle is more and how to counter things than just net deck. It's
Honestly,
not right.
I agree with Mike 100%. I played my Gabrielle. It's the first, yeah. I played my Gabrielle deck. I'm just like, let's be honest. Who here would actually think that I would do well with Gabrielle in this meta?
I don't know what Gabrielle's capable of, apart from the Malik Ultimate bullshit. That's about it.
Yeah. Well, you've got access to Ultima, so I guess.
What's up?
What are you thinking when coming to deck choices? I mean, you're using Coral, which is the meta deck. Brad is using Nubatama, which is the meta deck. I'm using Gabrielle, which
It's not a meta deck.
What? No.
It's like
meta.
it's previous meta.
Okay.
As soon as
So
it's sped up,
basically,
no
Brad
chance.
built-
I'm happy that it was the first time that I could actually play a deck that stood a good chance. It did stand a good chance. The sheer fact that Ange is an alternative is that Ange has a better overall. It's not very different in regards to whether or not you're going to win or lose. Ange just has more outs than the Coral variety. the reason I went with Coral and the reason I don't go with Angie is because I am a freaking lazy player. I don't want to think. I want to be able to literally just do my combinations and then this is a big number, can you stop it? Yes, no. I'm going to try that again. This is a big number, can you stop it? Yes, no. Okay, that was a fun game.
Why did we become that
This
lazy?
is just it, it's not lazy, it's the fact that it's consistent. You're doing that every game.
Yeah.
That's what the deck is designed to do, and you're consistently getting that off.
Yeah, and that's it. But with Ange, you need to go, right, my opponent is playing this. I'm going to be able to bounce 2 cards. What 2 cards am I going to bounce? I'm going to bounce one of mine to get the draw, one of theirs to get the search. Okay then, so now I've got the search. What card do I need next? Dot, 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 dot. You've put in a lot of thought into it, and as time goes on throughout the day, especially in that heat, I'm not the kind of player that is going to be able to continuously think, right, what is the best situation for that combo? What do I need to counter this deck with? I don't play this game anywhere near enough to know what every card and every clan and every combo does.
We used to.
What?
We used to, but
Yeah, and then it just kept on changing too quickly,
no,
too
I
much
just got
going
too
on.
bored of
There's too many sets, there's too many. The whole meta
So-
keeps changing every set. It's just like.
So although I'm not going to be able to play it for freaking ages, I'm looking forward to being able to have standard and a nice, easy aspect of, right, you don't have to think of 1,000 freaking combinations. This is the main card, this is the main set, we're done. That proved me wrong.
On that note of standard and premium, I spoke to one of the new
allowed to
Bushiroad
say
staff. Well, I spoke to the new staff, so the new staff member, the female.
yeah, but you're allowed to confirm this if that's what you're going for.
Did she say this is hush hush, keep it under your breath?
No,
Okay, go ahead then.
she didn't say sign this non-disclosure agreement.
Yeah. NDA!
It seemed, well, from what she said, that there's going to be premium and standard on the same weekend, so it's a Vanguard weekend, and that Buddy and Vice is another separate weekend. But it's just so standard and premium are separate days, so it's just one tournament a day, which means Faz can still play in premium or standard with us, so we don't have to say
So I can just dilly off on one day and dally back the next.
yes.
Well, you would have new support.
Vice versa for Mikey.
Yeah, vice versa.
Yeah, potentially.
But the
We'll
issue
see.
with that is then
He wouldn't have to support that way.
I won't.
Well,
My new support.
you have access to other of our decks. You're more than welcome
Yeah.
to play.
Yeah.
There's what? Do any of them have boobs that bounce?
Oracles.
Anyway,
Pale Moon might be out.
Okay,
Pale should be out by that time.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I haven't got anything related to that.
Yeah.
And I won't see you guys for the Ogden Banda regionals.
You're not coming.
Oh no.
Alright, we're
I
not
have
discussing
no
personal
reason
things
to
here.
go.
So yeah,
so yeah, so with that,
do you want me to sign off?
yeah, sure.
Okay. I know it's not any audio, and I hope you're only going to leave it audio. Don't even try.
It's gonna be
But
weird.
just put that Mike smile. Just put that bright smile from Mike on the thing.
Okay, thank you guys for listening. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you guys later.
Have a fantastic afternoon, morning, evening, or night. Goodbye.